one. So I don't know if Trinomic is now foam based. I don't know if you were to cut these in half, if you would actually see the Trinomic cushioning in there. Maybe Foot Dr. Zach will cut these in half soon. I hope so.
Hey, what's up? Zach here. And today I've got a shoe that has absolutely blown me away, and I really had no idea it existed until Chris and Jody from Wear Testers pointed them out to me and kind of steered me toward them to cut them open. And I'm glad they did, because these have been quite the surprise. Here we go. And of course, the shoe I'm talking about is the Puma TRC Blaze Court. And when I first took them out of the box, I'm thinking to myself, this is what Chris was so excited about. I didn't really get it. They looked okay. And then I put them on my foot, and then I started realizing a few things about them that were pretty cool. And then I got them on court, and that's when the real machinery of this shoe really started to just kind of blow me away. And I started seeing what they were talking about and just how explosive this shoe can be, and how Puma kind of found a way to make all this performance in a pretty slendered package shoe. It doesn't look like a lot from the outside, but the tech in it is just so simplistic, but it all works together so well. It also is ridiculously comfortable. So let's get started on the uppers. Now, what I like about the Blaze Court in the uppers is they do not skimp where it counts. Now, these have a 3-layer padded foam tongue, which is super comfortable. Laces tie down really nice, no pinching or anything like that. However, the rest of the upper is actually a little bit more minimal. Now, you do have some stitched paneling here, which does kind of increase a little more stability here on the inside. But what I really like is in the back here, where it actually goes into the ankle collar, you're getting more plastic reinforcement that goes into the midsole and then up here into the uppers, as well as up here into the lace line. Now, you also have a double reinforced lace line here on the lateral or outside of the shoe, and then a standard reinforced lace line here on the inside of the shoe. And what's great about that is the tie down stays really secure for a shoe that has a little bit more minimal uppers. Plus, for more lateral stability, you have the plastic exactly where you would need it, right where those ligaments go, to really give yourself a ton of containment in a shoe that is a little bit more of a slender build. And on the upper durability test, the Dremel 10 seconds highest grit sandpaper, I got felt flying everywhere in the air here. The Dremel does not bite through that felt layer. It doesn't look very stout when you look at it or even kind of feel it. It really feels kind of a little more soft. However, Dremel does not bite through it. It's thick enough to where it still does give you a lot of drag protection. And I did drag these a lot on the outdoor courts, and I didn't really notice any damage on them here either. So not bad toe drag protection either for a shoe that has more fabric paneling on it, something you wouldn't expect. You'd expect more of like a beefed up toe cap guard to have this good of a durability profile. And getting into the midsole teardown, I think this is where everybody wants to see what's inside of these. Now, this is billed as a Trinomic cushion shoe. Now, Trinomic cushion in the past was that more honeycomb pattern. It looked like Reebok Hexalite, and that was a Pebex based gel cushion. And that was one of the original, kind of not original, but earlier uses of Pebex foam, which is that plastic substitute type foam. If you even wanted to call that Hexalite or Trinomic foam, it was more of a Pebex gel air cushion type system. Whereas in the TRC Blaze Court, you can see here it does have this neon tennis ball color on the bottom and the purple, and then more of that down here. However, the purple, number one, is the shank of the shoe, and the neon yellow here, that iridescent color, is just painted foam. It's that Pro Foam Plus. Now, Pro Foam is basically like injected Phylon meets bounce foam with a little bit more elastic. Now, the Trinomic or the Pebex type component, the plastic substitute type component, can be found here in the puck of foam here in the heel. That's where you're getting the more Pebex or anything related to the original Trinomic cushioning. Now, that sounds like kind of a disappointment. However, if you look at the jump height test on these, average of 44 centimeters, which is the bounciest shoe I have tested ever on this channel, and it was pretty easy to jump in these. It was really easy to keep that average going. I didn't get below 43 centimeters on this jump height test throughout the 10 jumps I did to average this, and each one was just so easy to get up off the ground because the shoe is a little bit lighter for a shoe that kind of borderlines on a mid-top, almost looks like the MB1, but these with the Pro Foam Plus being a lighter midsole foam, you can really feel it under your foot as just a super light rubber-like compound under there, plus that shank being so stiff. It was actually really hard for me to get my knife through it, really hard for me to bend it and try to snap it. This thing just loads so much potential energy and is like a rocket ship when you really put some force into it. So for a shoe that does not look like much, looks like more of a slender build shoe, I know I've said that a bunch in this video so far, it gives so much energy return per ounce or per gram. And if you look at the outsole tread of the Blaze Court, just another super simple yet ultra functional design in this multi-directional kind of triangular pattern, and it is one continuous bed of rubber. So what I really like about this and what produces such superior traction on these is because no matter what position you're in or what direction you're going, you have tread that is perpendicular to your path of motion, linear to your path of motion, or parallel to your path of motion, and just slightly offset. So no matter what direction you go, you're getting grip as well as nice flowing movement to the next step. That's what makes these shoes feel like they grip so well no matter what surface it's on, is it's because you basically have all-wheel drive under your foot no matter what direction or what surface you put them on. And if you look at the shuttle test, it just shows it 14.42 seconds on these, which is hauling on those courts that I do that on. They are pretty slick. These shoes grip so incredibly well on corners, and they pick up speed so quick too, because as soon as my foot plants, that shank in them and that really light, really elastic pro foam just kind of kicks into gear, and the shoe just takes off on the straight. So no matter if you're trying to get speed on straights, kind of going up and down the court, or trying to produce speed cornering, or trying to make really quick kind of ankle breaker moves or really shifty type footwork, these things are just freakishly fast. But just the one thing you got to watch out for is you look at the outsole durability test, the Dremel 10 seconds highest grit sandpaper, just about 1 millimeter of damage on about a little bit over 2 millimeter tread depth. And now the durometer of these comes in at 11.5, which is a decent medium to hard rubber compound. However, because the treads are so thin, they are a little bit more exposed. So when you do start putting these on really gritty outdoor courts, that tread can start to meld together and you will start losing some of the best performance aspects of these. So if you want to keep them for the longest amount of time, keep them indoors. However, they will grip great outdoors. Just like I said, watch out for kind of some of that wearing of the linear tread pattern, because these will start to lose performance after that pretty quick once they start melding together. And looking at the fit of the TRC Blaze Court, a little bit more expandable than you would think they are. Narrow and medium can go true to size, even up to a 2E. I mean, I went true to size on these and I kind of did fine. I think if you want a little bit more room, you can go up a half size. If you want more of a 1-to-1 real performance fit, I think you just go true size. Obviously over a 2E, I would go up that, you know, half size at least. What I like about the fit of these is that the foam in them not only is light, but it is ultra supportive and a little bit more elastic. And plus you got the Pebex in the heel, even though it's not a ton of that foam, it is enough to help you out if you do have a little bit of heel pain. These do just have enough responsiveness in them to really kind of take care of some of that shock type injury, especially someone with shin splints or things like that. So anything kind of shock injury related, a shoe like this with a lighter midsole foam with a lot of energy return is also going to be able to absorb a lot of that energy and kind of give you a little bit better of a profile if you are somebody with more of an ailing foot or leg. And in terms of playability, I mean, you kind of guessed it. They've got the grip of the Luka 1, the comfort and the cushion initially of the PG6, and kind of some of the speed like something like the KT7 or the Way of Wade 10. They're just kind of an all-around really great shoe, especially on an indoor court. I found these were the best for very quick, violent movement, very quick kind of 1-2 type footwork, you know, when you're really trying to outwork somebody, you're kind of on the ground first. Now, these will do really great with rebounding or trying to get a jump shot over somebody's head. I would just say if you are someone that is a very heavy player, kind of more of a center, you might start to bottom out the forefoot of this shoe a little bit because it is an EVA based foam. So if you are someone like that, maybe throw an orthotic in there. However, in terms of playing center or playing any position, these really are one of those shoes that pretty much play any position well. So you can put these on pretty much any foot on the court and they're going to give you something that, you know, another shoe might not. I think their resistance to lateral force, but also being more of a streamlined, quick shoe, just makes these amazing for someone that's playing point guard or just someone who is really getting defended hard or maybe getting double teamed and you just really need to be able to find that one little inch of room to get yourself into. I think these are the perfect shoe for you. So I think if you're just someone that wants the ultimate in freedom of your foot, I don't think it gets much better than these. And from a shoe that, like I said, I really had no idea about until I did this review. And speaking of that, thanks again to Chris and Jody from Wear Testers for bringing these to my attention. If you do want to take a deep dive into the history of these shoes and trinomic cushioning, make sure you check out their video. I'll leave it linked somewhere up here as well as in the description below. And if you want to take a look at the older sibling to the TRC Blaze Court, the Puma MB1, make sure you check out this video up above or somewhere up here and subscribe down below. Respect your rubber and foam. I'll see you in the next video.